I got this mug a long time ago. Maybe 3 years ago at this point.
Can't go to a 3-floor thrift store with him because one, it's hard to carry the stuff that I'm gonna want.
I'm actually gonna hold this because I think it will be better. So we went to a few thrift stores. The first one we went to was a 3-floor thrift store, and this was everything I got. So the first thing I got was this mug. This is my new favorite mug. Look at it. And then we went to another thrift store, and we spent like all of 30 minutes in there, and we didn't find anything we liked. So this was all I got. This was 90 cents, and it was half off because it was pink. And then this was 90 cents, not half off.
Wow.
So less than $2 haul that I didn't pay for. Sorry, that's the ice machine. Maybe 3 years ago at this point, okay? Here are a few things I like about it, okay? I like the deep purple color, okay? I was with my sister Diana when we got it, and Diana's favorite color is purple. I like this. I don't really understand this picture on it. It's on both sides. I don't know what that is. It looks like, if I had a guess, like, and I could be totally wrong, this is the earth, right? The ocean, and the land is like a heart shape. And then, you know, here is the sun around it, basically. It feels very earthy. It almost feels like a heart is burnt into whatever that's supposed to be. And my favorite part, because when I got this, I was very much into my Psy Swoon inspired, you know, subtly beautiful, but also slightly confusing poetry style. And this says, heal the world, cook dinner tonight. I think like a promotional mug. I got it at a thrift store, but it's actually like a promotional mug for like, I think seasonings. I try to look it up. At the time I was like, oh my gosh, heal the world, I'm all about that. But when I said heal the world, cook dinner tonight, I was thinking at the time what that meant to me as someone who was struggling financially and struggling mentally and struggling emotionally. We were living in an apartment that we really could not afford.
Because before that we were living at my parents' house. Because before that we were in a very not great situation, living with another family member that was not fun or safe.
And so when we left that, we went to my parents' house. Then we felt bad for being in their space, so we moved into somewhere we couldn't afford, and it was not great. It was a pretty apartment until you look closely, and it was very much landlord special. Anywho, at the time, heal the world, cook dinner tonight to me meant you're so tired from working all the time that you order cheap food, and it doesn't feel good for your body, and it doesn't feel good for your mind, and it doesn't feel good financially. So maybe if you just push through the tiredness and the overwhelmingness you feel, and you find something to cook that's cheap and easy and all these different factors, then maybe you'll feel better financially and emotionally and mentally. Not the case. But now I'm starting to use this mug because when my dad was visiting, he picked this mug to use. We have a whole cabinet full of mugs, and I was like, maybe he sees something magical in this mug. Could it have been because it was just the first one he saw? Sure. But also, like, maybe it had a vibe. Who knows? I picked it up, and I'm like, actually, you know what? It does have a good energy. It's got a really good handle to it. And I'm reading the words on it, and now heal the world, cook dinner tonight means something a little differently for me. Can I afford to eat out more? Yes, I can afford to eat out a lot more. Financially, mentally, and physically, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's like it's a convenience factor. When you're working all the time and you're like, wow, it'll cost $50 in fresh groceries to make a couple meals for a few people, you know? At the time, that feels like a lot more than, oh, I'm gonna spend $20 and I'm gonna have something hot and something yummy. But I'll have it quicker and I won't have to have all these ingredients I have to work towards, like putting away in a way that will keep them fresh and blah, 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 you know. So I forget like how, like the price of convenience. What is the price of convenience? The price of convenience for me is that I'm not eating foods that feel nourishing. I'm actually probably not feeling well, like in my body. And so I think there's a lot of different factors there. So now, heal the world, cook dinner tonight, to me means I can chop up my sweet potatoes, and maybe I'll bake some sweet potatoes, and maybe I'll cook some farro, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of different veggies in it because it feels good for my mind and it feels nourishing for my body, and it feels almost healing. I get to put on the radio and I get to dance around my very nice, very safe kitchen in a space that is open and clean for the most part, and it's very healing. And healed people heal other people, right? I'm putting all this good energy into the food I'm making and I'm sharing the food. Healed people heal other people. Just like hurt people hurt other people. And that's what I wrote about in my morning pages today. And I think today I am grateful for a few things. One, that I'm recording this video. I have not recorded a video in a long time. That is like something that has to be edited. This will have to be edited because I feel grateful for that. I feel grateful that I live somewhere where the birds are always singing. And even saying it that way, like what a beautiful way to say, wow, I live somewhere where I feel safe. And obviously, the birds feel safe too. Nature is just safe. Birds aren't singing when there's scene in a scary movie where you're like breathing heavy and treading through the woods. Like, the dynamic of the movie would change drastically if birds were chirping in the background, you know. I'm also grateful for this mug. I bought it at a time where I was not doing well emotionally or financially or physically or any of the least, you know. And now I have the space and the power and the time to appreciate it. So I'm grateful, and I hope you have a great day, and I love you. Bye. If it's not my favorite, it's definitely a top competitor with my bird mug.